Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Saturdays for Sustainability Learning Initiative with the goal to discuss sustainability issues in a systematic manner and for the holistic understanding of the sustainability issues, the concepts, and the applied part. So, this is an initiative where we are connecting as a mastermind group. So, where we have peers with whom we can discuss these issues, and the focus of this group is finding solutions and becoming a solution or change agent for the sustainability issues. So let's try to find out some solutions through the mastermind group, through the synergy, the concept of synergy, where 1 plus 1 is not 2. The possibilities are infinite. So I like these two quotes actually I am sharing with you. So I'll just read one. No two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third invisible, intangible force, which may be likened to a third mind. So we may be individual persons, individual minds, but when we come together with a purpose, then that creates one intangible force, which is far greater than the individual capacities. So that's the concept that we are connecting on that basis. So what are the outcomes of this initiative that you can expect is: first is learning one new concept every week. Second, networking with fellow professionals. Third, getting to know different career opportunities or entrepreneurial opportunities or even learning opportunities. So, this is a place where we will seek the opportunities. And the fourth, which is thought leadership. We are trying to understand sustainability and also guide it in its future journey in our respective countries, right? For the world, I would say. Then how we are connecting. So every Saturday, as usual, we are connecting at 7 for 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour, and we are discussing it every week. So today's topic of discussion is: first is design for sustainability, and at the end of this 1 hour, we will have some practical guidelines as if what is there to be included in sustainability. Okay, so what I'll do, we will just make a group of two. Okay, I'll just stop here. We will directly go to today's topic. We will just make a group of two. I'll not breakout. I will not create breakout room, but just I'll create a group of two. For two people, I'll give same queue. Okay, and we will have one activity now. Okay, so I'll just quickly share that. Okay, just a minute. So this is activity. Let's go to park. Okay. So assume that you are going to park now. We are all in a park. And what I would request is, with alphabetically, we should create a group of two. Okay, that is fine. So I'll just write it down. Give me just a minute, because that will be better. Give me just a minute. So meanwhile, you can read on the screen. This is activity. I'll request someone if you can read what is there on the screen, if possible, please.
The trip to a park, some children accidentally drop the ball down a pipe. The pipe is a hollow cylinder that is fixed to the ground. What would you suggest these kids to do to get their ball out of the pipe?
Okay, perfect, perfect. Ram Subramanian, thank you. So as all of us are in the park, let's say, and this is the pipe. This is a hollow cylinder actually. Okay, and what happened is, children while playing, accidentally that ball fell into that pipe, right? So now it's our task to suggest these kids what is the best possible solution to take this ball out. Okay, and there are different combinations of this material of this pipe and this ball. So first combination I'm writing over here. First material is of this cylinder. Let's say first combination is steel, plus the ball is also of steel. Okay, Second combination is this is of steel and the ball is wooden. Okay. Then third is this is of wooden material and the ball is, let's say, rubber. So these three combinations are there. I hope I'll just check the chat. Yeah. Yes, Ajit. So this is the material of ball. Okay. So first is the steel. First, I'm writing for this hollow cylinder, and the second is the material of this ball. So these are the three combinations, and I'm just preparing the team and assigning the material for you. So Ram Subramanian ji and Ajit ji, your is the case 1. Okay. Second, Prakhar and Priyanka, for you the combination 2. Riaz ji and Shivkumar ji, for you it's wooden plus rubber, the third. And for Sonali, we will give the first option. Okay, the first. So your task is you have to suggest the best possible option for the children to take out this ball, and you have 30 seconds to go to decide what you can do. So maybe you can individually think about it and you can share. Whoever want to go first, please, you can. Yes. Who is going first?
I have answers for case 2 and case 3, not for case 1.
Okay, great. Okay, you can share, please. Please share your suggestions. Yeah.
Okay, for case 2 and case 3, I would suggest to pour water in the pipe so
Okay.
that ball will start floating and it will come to the surface.
Okay. Perfect. And for one?
For one, we may use some rods with a hook.
Okay.
Based on the length of the cylinder, we can use a rod with a hook to pull the ball out of the cylinder.
Okay, perfect. These are the two options. Then any other option? What about others? Please do share.
Can use a suction pump to pull the ball out.
Vacuum pump, vacuum pipe.
Suction pump to pull the ball out.
Okay, suction pump. Suction or vacuum pump? That's fine.
Anything.
Yeah. The three options. Anything more that you have? What about Priyanka, Sonali, Riaz? What is your suggestion?
Like because it's steel, we can't use magnet and all stuff, na, like to pull it out or something.
You can use magnet also.
You can use
some steel rod at the end of the rod. There can be a magnet.
Right. There is one neodymium magnets, so which are very strong. They are just small, but they are really strong, really powerful. Yeah, you can use that as well. Any other option? Anything that's possible? Okay, all right. So these are enough options for us. You want to share anything, please? Okay, so should we move ahead?
Yeah, please.
Okay, perfect. So as we have got multiple options for this problem, and still I haven't complicated this problem with the diameter of this cylinder and diameter of the ball. Okay, so this is very easy problem for us. Only we are considering the material, different material. But what is the conclusion from this activity actually? So as you have seen, if we have different materials for the different, let's say these two objects, we can see there is different option for it, different solution for it. One solution will not be applicable for the different scenario or different material. For example, what I'm saying is, so let's say if we are using magnet, this will be applicable only in the case of first, because the ball is of steel. Pouring water, if that depends on density, right? It will not be applicable for steel, right? So rod with a hook, maybe you can use it for wooden or rubber and not for steel. We don't know that, we need to try, right? Whether that will be able to lift it or not. Or the suction pump, maybe wooden and rubber can be done easily. For steel, it's possible or not. We need to check whether it can lift that much weight, whether the place is there or not. But in short, what I'm trying to suggest is, there are no absolutes about the solution. So for each solution, that has to be fine tuning with respect to space, time, and the context that we are dealing with, the resources that we have, right? Again, one thing that we haven't discussed over here is whether we have these resources nearby or not. And the second, the diameter of the ball and the cylinder. So that's why critical thinking is very important in these steps. So we need to think clearly what are the resources that we have, whether it is possible or not, and how to implement the best possible solution, or and what is the way to do it, right? So in this activity, what is the one outcome as a solution that I can identify is, multiple solutions are also possible for the same problem. That's absolutely possible, right? So it's not there keep you can use only one solution. There will be multiple solutions for the same problems, for the same problem. But then which one of the options that we have and which we should choose is, that depends on the minimum energy criteria. So this is something that can define sustainability or sustainable solution. So there are, let's say, n number of solutions that we have. So out of this four, what is the sustainable solution? So that the sustainable, so one of the property of the sustainable solution should be, it consumes the minimum energy. Do you agree on the statement?
Yes, yes, absolutely fine.
Right. So why is it so? And whenever we are comparing the energy, so that includes the entire life cycle of the that product or that complete process. So we should not only consider the short term. So life cycle means from its, let's say, extraction and the material point of view, to its maybe recycling, or its once it becomes non-usable, right? So how we discard that. So that entire process we need to keep in mind, how much energy is going at each phase, and that's how we can devise this one criteria, that if we want to design some product as a sustainable, then it should be a product which consumes minimum energy in its entire lifetime. So this is this activity we did to understand one aspect of sustainable solution. Now I would like to ask you all, you can take any product or any process, and let's try to brainstorm what is sustainable and how we can design that product or process to be a sustainable product.
Will not use the vacuum pump for the previous six. It was
Right.
energy consuming.
Right. So, and we check, if we check the energy consumption also, it happens in multiple stages. So first is, let's say, for the manufacturing of that suction pump, that's there, definitely. Second thing, in the park, you might not get it, right? So what you need to do is, you need to go purchase it, or if it is in your house or home, you need to go there, bring it. So the time is also important over here. So all these aspects, and again the use or the electricity during its working, whether that is active or passive. So yeah,
True.
so you will not use the suction pump, right? So that's not, yeah. So my next question is, so if we want to design a product, what are the criteria for designing it is sustainable? If you can come up with some solutions or some problem statement, we can discuss that. Otherwise, I have one resource which is designed by one of the leader in technology, and they have their criteria design checklist for sustainability. So we can check that and then we can come up to the discussion. What is your suggestion?
That is also absolutely fine. We'll go for it. We'll go with
Okay.
the checklist, then we'll.
Okay, perfect. But I want some checklist from your side, what product you are designing and what is sustainable according to you. Okay, so let's go ahead in today's discussion. Okay, so I'll just quickly share one presentation with you regarding design for sustainability, and then we will go to the resource that I was discussing about. Okay, so design for sustainability, popularly called as D4S, and it is the next step for eco design. So what happened is in the 1990s, 1980s, 1990s, the concept of eco design was very popular, but later it was merged into design for sustainability. And when we talk design for sustainability, there are multiple options over there. Okay, so first thing to understand design for sustainability, first thing is to understand what exactly sustainability is, right? So what it is and what it is not. So first and foremost thing that we need to understand is whatever is sustainable, so we need to keep the context to understand it in entirety, right? So let's say someone says that only tree planting is the sustainability or it's environment conservation, it's sustainable. So it's not. You need to check other context as well. Then second is why it is important. And with the help of, let's say, the resource use that, I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So with the help of understanding of the different issues that we face, right? So if you ask anyone what are the issues, so maybe climate change that we are seeing every day, the heat waves are there, the cyclones, the floods, the frequency has increased, the resources are not available, the quality of air and water has decreased, the pollution has increased. So these are all factors which you can consider why sustainability is important and how we are here at this place, right? And there are some concepts which are also important to understand, maybe three pillars of sustainability or the concept of externality, through which tragedy of commons that we have discussed, carrying capacity, or then if we talk about the solutions part, so how to provide solutions for sustainability. So there are some concepts like extended producer responsibility, EPR, the sustainable development goals that we all are familiar with, how to practically implement sustainability, so that may be circular economy or the ESG criteria that are coming for the organizations. So this is what, in short, if we want to understand sustainability, we need to build understanding on all these topics. And then what is a good design? So that is a one question that comes into mind. So which design we will call it as a good design? So importance of design, why design phase is important. So this is one research and the document is available on European Union Science Hub. So they had done some calculations and they suggested that over 80% of the product related environmental impacts are determined during the design phase itself. So let's say if you want to design something or if you want to make something as environment friendly or sustainable, where you should start, the maximum outcome you will get if you go into the design phase. So 80% of the environmental impacts are related or are determined at the design itself, because in design phase you are overseeing the entire operations of that product and how it will end. So right from which material you procure, how you manufacture it, how you ship it, to what happens after the use of that product. So all that get determined during design phase itself, and if there are any ill effects or some negative impact, so that also uh, you can provide some solutions in design phase. So that's why design is very important. So if we want to design something, how to make it sustainable, this is very important questions for the organizations. And here, if we understanding design, so we need to understand what is the purpose of that product or of that service. So understanding the value. No one purchases a product just for the product's sake. They have some intended purpose. They need some value out of it, and that's why we purchase the product. For example, we don't purchase electric bulb or light bulb just for bulb sake. We purchase it because we want light, right? And that's why we purchase the product with the hope that this will provide us the service of lighting. And that's how understanding the value and accordingly designing the product is very important. And next point to understand is what are the parameters of good design. So as we have already seen the first point, it's not absolute, it's relative term with respect to different time and space and different context in which that is being used. Second parameter that you can see is it should be non-toxic. It should not be harmful for other living forms as well, right? Because as we got our understanding in three pillars, let's suppose it's not harmful, it's not toxic for human beings, but it is toxic for other living creatures, right? So environmentally, the among the three pillars, environmental pillar is somewhere getting damaged due to that. And if that is getting damaged, so definitely that will have impacts on social and the economic pillar as well. That's for sure. Just like the law of karma, that is unbeatable, right? So in the same way, if you are having impact on any part of the ecosystem, then definitely that is going to impact the sustainability as well. Then the next point, it should consume the minimum energy possible. The local sourcing, again, these points are correlated. These are not completely separable points. If that is a minimum energy, it should be locally sourced, right? Then the habit formation, this is also one important point, which is a good design will promote the sustainable habits or environment friendly habits. So that is also one thing that we can think about when we design product, and whether that is social good or not. So in terms of, let's say, whether that is beneficial for the society, maybe for people or kids who don't have discretion, right? That in that much, they don't have that much viveka, as we say. So for them also, how we design product, whether it will be for social good or not. So these are some of the parameters that I guess we can think about when we design a product. Okay, so I'll stop here. These are just some initial thoughts about designing and sustainability. Now, let's go to the IBM's sustainability guide document. Okay, so this is the document. I'll briefly explain to you this document, and then we can discuss about it in more detail. So please let me know if you have any questions in between. We can stop and we can analyze what is there. Okay. So this is latest in the sense that the version is 3rd July 2023. So this is a document of this year only. The document name, as you can see, IBM Design for Sustainability and Design Checklist for Sustainability. I hope the screen is visible for all.
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks. So let's see what IBM has to say. All right. Yeah, so first in introduction, as you can see, IBM designers are committed to making progress to improve the human condition, society, and environment. So again, here I can see the linkages between the three pillars. So bringing prosperity to all people, communities, and the planet. It's reducing the impact on limited resources. This is all about what is the challenge that we have. IBM practices IBM design for sustainability and use it as framework for how we satisfy the needs of the present without compromising the future. Here comes the standard definition of sustainable development. And yeah, so this is the guiding philosophy for them, right? So yeah, so here you can see the document that I was referring to. This is sustainable product policy. This is of European Union. It estimates that 80% of the product related environmental impacts are determined during the design phase. It has immense opportunity to increase positive impacts while reducing harm. When we design digital experiences, as this particular company is of more of their work in digital sector or area, so their goal is to optimize performance, speed, and responsiveness for both user and the system. So that's what they are focusing on. Yeah, so good design is a good business. Good design is also more sustainable. So that's what they think, and it's true also. Yeah, so whenever we talk about good design, so let's take two scenario over here. So let's say there is a design 1 and there is a design 2. Design 1 is bad for environment. Let's take an example that it consumes a lot of electricity, right? The energy requirement is more, but it is very successful at delivering the value to customers, right? The customers are happy with it. And the second option is you have a product that consumes less energy, less electricity, but customers are not that much happy with that product. So what do you think, which design is how would you compare between these two designs? Am I clear? The question is clear. I'll repeat the question. Okay, so first design that you have, let's say it's a product which consumes more energy. Okay, uh, but it's also satisfies customer need, right, for the value that customer is seeking for. And the second option that we have, which consumes less energy, but it's also not customers are not that satisfied with the second product. So what do you think about the design of these two products?
The second one or the second one need to be optimized to satisfy with the customer's needs, or the first one can be designed in a better way to consume less electricity.
Right. Yes, Ram Subramanian. Yes. Yes, Priyanka, you were saying something.
So I'm saying the same point. Like there should be the situation should be win-win. So until unless customer they do not if they do not accept any product, so it doesn't have like any value to the customer, then there is no sense in making that particular product. So I think the situation should be balanced. It should be a win-win case.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and we can understand it with one example. So what examples I gave you, so you can compare it with let's say incandescent bulb, the first option. Let's say uh, it consumes a lot of energy. Earlier we used to have incandescent bulbs, so it was 100 watts bulb, right? And the second option, it's more efficient bulbs. So if let's say customer want the first option only, but as we know that it's not a good design because it's not good for environment, it's not sustainable, right? And that's why maybe companies or with the government having regulations and companies found the better solutions with energy efficient technologies, they gone for CFLs, or after that they gone for the LEDs, and that's how the design is becoming more sustainable, and it's again bringing good business for the organizations as well. So that's the win-win solution with design we can search. Yeah, so going ahead with this document, so what are the guiding principles for them with respect to design for sustainability? It's inclusive for all living things. Point to note here is it's living things, right? Inclusive for all living things. Easy to learn and to use for all people. And third, efficient for users and power consumption. So again, these are the three guiding principles for them, right? Yeah, let me know if you want to stop somewhere and read and understand some point in better in more detail. Just a minute. I'll optimize it to the screen. Yes, I hope this is readable for all.
Yes, it's readable.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, so they have three topics over here: enterprise design thinking and sustainability, IBM design research and insights. So what they are doing, right? And design language and carbon design system. So what I would like to focus more here is the insights over here. First is great experiences are always founded on users and contextual insights. Context must include diverse representation of people, communities, and the planet.
Mm.
Well-researched experiences are intuitive, user fewer resources, and reduce design errors that lead to closely post-production rework. Continuous insight collection inform priorities and drives design efficiency. So I guess this is a little bit aligning with the agile concepts that different companies use. Mostly IT companies, they have the agile framework where they try to get feedback from the customers. It's iterative process and try to optimize it in a design phase itself, right? Yes, so design should be inclusive. I'll be reading some key points over here. Inclusive design, that should be inclusive for all the people, right? Yeah, and artificial intelligence, so how they can design it just for all. That's one issue with IT companies nowadays, right? And yeah, so this is the part over here. Yeah, IBM design culture for sustainability. This is a technology company, so they are majorly working with education, training, and certification for this, right? Design thinking for sustainability. They have the separate module. They have separate tools over there, and the free resources are also available. So if you want to learn more on these topics, you can go to IBM and learn about it. Okay, and this is a checklist where we come now. Yeah, so this concept might be familiar. The checklist helps us to view good design practices through a sustainability lens. Most design decisions have sustainability implications. Understanding the downstream impact of our design choices help to build our sustainability consciousness, resulting in more sustainable designs. So, what are the intended outcomes while in design phase? First is reduce resource use, right? Second is create better experience for everyone, right? And what is the third? Oh, and these are familiar examples of design practices. So content design, inclusive design, user experience design, right? And visual design. So, but these are the two intended outcomes, and then they have given the checklist for sustainability. So whether that is being followed or not. And with these four design elements that they have: content, inclusion, user experience, and visual. The color coding also you can see over here. Okay, so simplify the experience to increase task efficiency. And again, you can see there are interlinkages between the different elements that we are seeing. So first, let's say it's task efficiency is there, then definitely the energy consumption will reduce because you are doing it efficiently, you're doing it less time, you don't need more time to understand it. So again, there is a correlation. Reuse content and assets when possible. So again, here energy consumption comes. Remove pages and assets that aren't used. Guide users to complete their work. Optimize the flow. Optimize search. Clear messaging, right? Yes. About color, communication of the information, communication of the content that they have, and about teaming. So with this checklist, what they are ensuring is, so whatever product they are designing with the inclusive team, with the different kind of inputs that they have with respect to design, whether their product will be sustainable in the long term, and whether all the criteria are taken care while designing phase itself. So this is one short document that IBM has designed. So now I would like to open this forum for discussion, and maybe you can share your thought process on design for sustainability. If you have any product or any process that you would like to share, and we all can brainstorm on the topic how to design it in a better way.
I have some different perspective on cost versus the public adaptability. When a sustainable or energy efficiency product design, the initial cost is more. It's a good example. LED is a good example. When the replacement to condensate lamp LED is costlier,
Right.
but the overall life cycle cost we need to consider. So when the energy cost is more than the capex, then that will be a good. So the awareness about the overall power cost among the people during selecting the product, that will be good. In a normal residential product like a refrigerator or fan, when we go to purchase, there is a star rating available. More star rating means there is a low energy consumption, but the initial cost, I mean, say some premium we need to pay for to lower the running cost.
All right. Yes. So here you are suggesting that how to make sure that customers make informed choice, right? So yeah, absolutely. So if we take the example of incandescent bulb versus LED, so definitely the operating cost, if we calculate the return on investment, that will be maybe less than 6 months or less than a year. So these are very easy decisions for people. Just we could show some calculations, and people will get convinced really easily. Yes. Yes, Ajitji, you want to share something?
Yeah. Now I'll share some examples from engineering industry, particularly automobile and other engineering industry. So most of these industries are certified for ISO 14001 environmental management system, and there is a requirement in that. So environmental aspects are to be identified from life cycle perspective. So to fulfill this requirement, so what an organization is required to do, and generally this is done by design team only, design or R&D team. They list down all the activities of product right from raw material acquisition, processing of their child part, sub-assembly, then transportation, packing, unpacking, warehousing, then installation, commissioning, use of the product, end of the life, disposal at the end of the life. So all these stages are listed, activities, sub-activities involved in these stages are listed, and what can be probable impact on environment and what should be the probable controls. So for any organization, it is possible to have controls for the activity which are performed in its periphery or under its control, maybe design, manufacturing, testing. And for activities which are performed at supplier own, so organization initiates, so what should be the process, what should be control on that process, and they keep on influencing their supplier to go for those control. Similarly, they try to use the material which are first environment friendly. If not, then try to avoid use of hazardous material. Then they go for non-hazardous material. There also they try to use non-biodegradable material. They try to use biodegradable material instead of non-biodegradable material. They instruct their suppliers to have certain kind of packing. Sometimes they instruct the supplier to use reusable packing, not to pack, use crates which can be sent back, and during use of the product, what can be aspect, what can be impact, including energy consumption, emission, noise generation. All these aspects are taken into consideration. Accordingly, design is prepared. So I think that is done by design team. considering the whole stages of product life cycle.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much sharing some details on life cycle aspect. Yeah, and that's why I guess life cycle, understanding entire life cycle or taking into entire life cycle of the product while comparing is very important. And I would like to add just one example over here, which is if I ask all of you option one, which is a cloth bag, and option two, which is a plastic bag, which is sustainable. Can you please answer whether it is a cloth bag or it's a plastic bag, which is sustainable?
Plastic bag.
Which is a sustainable solution, sustainable option? I would like to hear what is your response.
Even a plastic bag, also we need to know what is the MOC, what is a grammage, whether it is a recyclable or whether it is a reusable, whether it is biodegradable. We need to know. Okay, then only we can decide a better way.
Right. Yeah.
Even cloth bag also, whether if it is made up of reused cloths, it's absolutely fine. Okay, so we need to deep dive in each and every product.
Right.
In order to decide whether it is sustainable or not.
Right. So that's a perfect answer from your side. But generally, when we ask this question whether a cloth bag is sustainable or whether a plastic bag is sustainable, generally most of the time we also think plastic bag is not sustainable and cloth bag is sustainable. Right? All of you might have similar experiences.
See, that is because always we are seeing the plastic as a pollution, and even plastic comes as a byproduct from the petroleum industries, right? So if you are not at all using the plastics, all those plastics goes as a waste, right? So yes, all the statistics suggest so far only 9% of the plastics comes to the recycling. It's all challenging to bring the entire plastic to the recycling industry. Then even plastic also can become more sustainable.
Right. So though this will require one more session for discussion about the true solution for plastic recycling.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a really big topic, and who is the culprit in all this plastic pollution? So we will keep it for one separate session. Yeah, but yes, rightly said by you. Yeah, so plastic also can be sustainable. When we compare plastic and cloth bag is sustainable compared to plastic only when you use it hundreds of time and not only single use of the cloth bag also. So in order to, and why it is so, if you consider the life cycle aspect of both, the weight of each of the product, cloth bag and plastic bag, so that's completely different, right? So for cloth bag you require more material over there, more energy is also involved in that, and in order to become sustainable compared to the plastic bag you need to reuse it again and again. So there are many life cycle analysis of these two products, and it shows that you have to use the cloth bag hundreds of times to ensure that it is sustainable or it is environment friendly option. If you are just buying the cloth bag just out of fashion as this is sustainable, then definitely it's not sustainable. So that's the kind of predicament that we have. So what is sustainable and what is not? Yeah, so in design phase it should be considered, and that's why life cycle aspect is very important. Yeah, any other input, please? It's open for discussion. So my question is, what is your parameter for design for sustainability? So if you want to design any product, any process as a sustainable, or you want to make anything as sustainable, so what should be your criteria?
So number one, recyclability, eco-friendly, consuming less electricity, less water, durable.
Perfect.
These are the minimum conditions we can think of. There are a lot of other categories we can hear from the team also.
Right. And just I want to understand more on your second point, that is eco-friendly. So what do you mean by eco-friendly?
Okay, when it is designed, when it is produced, when it is used, when it is recycled, not harming the environmental conditions, air, water, or land.
Okay.
Another aspect would be at the end of life, right? How a product is disposed. I think that's a huge factor. If it can
Yes.
be,
Yes,
if it can
recyclability.
not only recyclability, at the end of any life, if the product can be easily assimilated into planet Earth with very minimal issues.
So maybe to evolve this discussion, so I'll just point this out to everyone, and we can discuss over there. Just a minute. So what I can do, I can pull a whiteboard over here, and we will just list down the topics, and we will just check what is there. Okay. So I hope the whiteboard is visible for you, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just write down. So the first that you said was recyclability, but I'll write it as end of life. End of life. What is happening for that, right? The second was eco-friendly. The third was energy, minimum energy, right? And the fourth was durability. Yeah, so I hope it's visible for all. So please add if you want to add anything, and we will just try to understand whether it is correct way to design any product as sustainable, or there is more to...
I think the first one should be if the product is able to satisfy the customer, if it is able to solve the actual problem of the customer.
Okay, so what you are saying is you should focus on value, what kind of value it is generating, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Sir, I am not sure. I think modularity can be one point.
Right, absolutely. So where you should put it? What is your suggestion?
I think so that we can use minimum resources, less raw material.
Minimum energy or
Yeah,
durability?
it will come under both, I think.
Okay, so I'll write it over here. Okay, modularity. Design for modularity is also one of the part of design for sustainability. Yeah. And Priyanka, would you like to explain the modularity concept for all? So maybe some of our members might not be aware about what is this concept is.
So when we design a product, we can design it in modules, like different part. We have different modules, and when we assemble those modules, we will get our product, and we can use those modules in some other product also. Like at the end of life, we can say, like when you can disassemble those modules, and you can use, or you can repurpose those modules in the same product or in different product. So that is my understanding of modularity.
Right, absolutely. That's correct. So modularity is a concept, is it based on the function? So what we discuss at the value, so what is valuable for customer? So taking it forward, if we take the example of mobile phone, right? So we have different modules. So there is a module for camera, there is a module for, let's say, battery module is different, or the motherboard or the other functions are different. What if the modularity was not there? Then let's say if any single item gets damaged, then you have to replace the entire mobile phone, and sadly that is the way how mobiles or how gadgets are designed nowadays. But modularity asks designers to design in such a way that if there is a small component that is being, let's say, damaged, then you should only replace that part if possible, and if not possible, the functional module of that unit. So let's say if camera is not working, only the camera module can be replaced, and that comes under the modularity, design for modularity, or even if we call it as design for repair, so that's also comes under modularity. I hope that is correct, Priyanka, right?
Yeah, right, sir. I think it is the basic principle.
Yes. Yes. What can we add over here?
Yes, we can even add in the case repairability, reusability, minimum resource.
Inclusivity. The product should be like able, the people should able to use the product. I mean, it is not designed for some specific kind of people. For example, if a person has some disability, so he might be able to use that product.
So inclusivity, can we add it in value, Prakhar?
Yeah, value, with the value we are trying to define the use of the product, but I think the inclusivity should be kept separate.
Okay,
I
so
think from inclusivity, he wanted to say like it should be that the segment of customer should be broad. Is it? It should be inclusive to all. Like the product should capture a large customer base. The meaning of, is it right?
Yes.
Okay.
okay. So by inclusivity, you want to say that let's say I'm designing a product. So let's say if there is a person with disability, so that person should also be able to use that, right?
Yeah, for example, if we are using the lift buttons, so they are also, it's like engraved, the numbers are also engraved. So for example, if some person is going up or down, he might just feel it and then he can press the button.
Right. Perfect. Got it.
Hello.
Okay. Yes, Sonali, please.
Yeah, I would like to add that finally we should be able to recycle, reuse, and refurbish the product.
Okay. So can I add it in durability or end
Due
of
to,
life?
yeah, I think it's end of life. Like it's a activity wherein we can recycle, reuse, and again like renew it so that it can go back to the first stage wherein it can be used for the manufacture of the product again.
Right. Yeah. So what we are
So
saying is,
yeah.
yes, in end of life, we should design a product in such a way that it can be reused, it can be recycled, refurbished, or whatever the closest loop is there, it should close.
Repaired.
Yeah.
See, some products and all, there is no end of life at all. Say, for example, the steel. It can come back to the chain n number of times.
All right. But I'm not sure about the energy consequence of recycling steel. So whether it retains its purity, how is it?
Oh, okay, question. Need to think. The purity, maybe there may be a loss, definitely. Process loss will be there, transportation loss, even corrosivity, all may affect us. But still, it can come back to the cycle again.
All right. And that's interesting point. And if that is not let's say polluted with other kind of materials, so let's say if there is a plastic attached to it and it's you cannot separate these two parts, then definitely that will add somewhere to the toxicity, right? So in that case, plastic will gets incinerated during the process, and that is again toxic for the living creatures, and that will violate the second criteria that we are designing, right? Yeah. Yes, that's a good point. Yes. Anything to add over here?
Dhananjay, you can sequence appropriately. That will be good.
So what should be the sequence?
End of life should be at the end.
At the end.
Okay, you are saying this should be the last point. What should be the first?
End of life should be the last point, I think.
Okay. Which is the most important?
Value for customers.
Okay. Okay. Actually, the interesting point of view. So I was thinking end of life should come the first.
First,
Because
when you are designing, you need to consider the end of life.
Yeah. So let's say to keep it simple, so let's say we are designing a product or process or anything. So as there is a purpose for this product, so let's keep first as a value for customer what exactly we are delivering. What is the value? Whether we can provide a solution for that particular value without product, means product as a service module. So can we do it? So that should be the first design criteria. Then second, end of life, or and then let's see what is second and third, fourth. First, let's say log this.
Second, durability.
Okay. Yes, Riyadji, what is your suggestion for next?
Third, minimum energy.
Okay.
Fourth will be eco-friendly.
Okay.
Inclusively, and last, end of life.
Okay, perfect. Anybody would like to change the sequence? Please let me know. I'll write. I can write sequence over here. Do let me know. Is it okay? Or you want to change any sequence or any importance or anything to add?
Can we add like eco-friendly as well as cost-friendly?
Eco-friendly as well as the second term?
Like cost-effective. It should be cost-effective, na?
Cost effective.
So
Okay.
like yeah. So if it is reducing, if we are using minimum energy, then we are saving cost also. But like cost angle should be important. I think it is critical.
Right. So my suggestion would be, instead of adding it in eco-friendly, can we add it in value for customers? The reason being, whenever we are offering some value to the customer, so the cost is ultimately being considered into that proposition. So let's say you are providing a pen which is a value, let's say customer requires value to write, but the pen's cost is 1 lakh rupees, no one will purchase, or even only Ambani or someone like that will purchase, but for normal customer won't purchase, right? So the costing will be in the value proposition for the customer.
Yeah, I think cost will decide the pricing of the product, so we can include it over there. Yeah.
Okay. And yes, and it's not like if we are writing one item in, let's say first, it will not be applicable in, let's say minimum energy, that will be also there. So it's depend. Yes. Anything to add, or should we close it?
I hope this is fine. If your comments.
I couldn't hear you. I hope others are able to hear or not.
I hope this is fine. If any other points from anyone?
I just wanted to add another point. It's how long a product is in use.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
think
that
that's one
comes
of
in
the
durability, right?
sorry, durability. Yeah, correct. I think that's another very, very important factor.
Mm-hmm.
And again, your cost and all other things will be very interrelated to this as well. Durability. Yeah.
And that's why fast fashion is not good for environment, or fast fashion is not sustainable, because it compels people to buy again and again and discard whatever that they have purchased, though it retains its value, but still that is going to waste. Yeah, so durability is important. Yes, agree. So to just sum up what we discussed, so design for sustainability, if you want to design something, so let's first understand what is the value that we are delivering to customer, whether that is cost effective or not, and how to maximize the value for the customers. So first thing. Second thing, maybe how durable we are thinking to make this product. What is the repairability of that? What is the modularity of that? So that also comes under durability. Then third, maybe minimum energy and its life cycle approach. It's not only during use, or only a short myopic view is not there. Its entire life cycle is being considered. Then fourth is eco-friendly, whether that is benign for the environment, if it is released or during its manufacturing or production or extraction, whether people or the animals or creatures, they are safe with all the components, all the compounds that the product has. Then its inclusivity, whether that product, and for inclusivity, can we write as, is it for social good, or it's a social consideration, right, Prakhar? If so,
Yeah.
when we talk
Yes.
about inclusivity, we are considering some social aspect with the product. And the last is, but most important, end of life, what will happen of this product at the end of the life. So it should be non-toxic, and it should be able to reuse, recycled, refurbished, remanufactured, whatever is the closest loop possible. So in this way, if we design a product or process or anything, if that is designed in such a way, that should be a sustainable product, sustainable thing. So can we say this?
Yes.
Yeah. So everyone can ratify this convention, design for sustainability convention. Okay. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your active participation. And please do let me know if you want to share anything about what we discussed today. If you want to add anything, please, you can do it. Okay. Yeah, I'll share this sheet with you. I've just saved it, and I'll share that in group. Yeah, so final comments. If you want to add anything, you can. Otherwise, we can
Is there
wind up
any
the session.
standards are there for the sustainability design? UO design, there is a standard, right?
Yeah, for design for sustainability, there are two documents actually. So first is design for sustainability. It is the older publication that we have. I'll just share. So this is UN report on design for sustainability.
Okay.
Okay. And the second report that there is with respect to life cycle approach, life cycle management. So this is what you can see on the screen. Okay. So this is design for sustainability, a step-by-step approach. It was designed in collaboration with UNEP and TU Delft. So this is one of the top university, and this is a step-by-step approach for design for sustainability. So whatever you want to design, and this is some older version. In 2009, it was designed. Okay, but it is applicable for now also.
Now also, okay.
Like it's
any updated version they released?
I haven't came across. I am also searching, so maybe there are, but I'm not sure. Okay, so as you can see in the in this document, so this is the introduction to design for sustainability, from eco design to D4S, that is design for sustainability. And here how it can be applicable to different aspects. So environmental, social, or financial, that is given, and life cycle and improvement factor thinking. So that is one major point in this document as well. Okay. And there are multiple good case stories or some method practical tools are also given in this document. So this is one that we have. Okay. And the second that I was discussing, so this is life cycle management. This is a business guide to sustainability. So this is also one document, and I guess this is the latest one. Oh, no, this is also from 2007. So these are the two documents that we have. So in this, they have given a detailed discussion on how sustainability and life cycle thinking are interrelated. What is exactly life cycle management, and how to apply in practice, and the implementation. So these are the two documents that I am aware of. There will be many. Okay, so but let's see. We need to search, and we can discuss it in next week also.
Sure.
And there is one interesting book. If you are interested, there is one book named Cradle to Cradle. I had read this book couple of years ago. I'll just share that on screen. So I just thought next week also, if you are interested, we can extend this discussion about design for sustainability. And as you can see on the screen, so this is a book, Cradle to Cradle, by Michael Brungart and William McDonough. So these are two thought leaders in sustainability as well. So they have designed this book in really nice way. So I can share some of my learnings about this book, and if you came across anything which is related to design for sustainability, you can also please share. So this is also a good book if you are interested in this topic. So this is good book, and which also covers some part of circular economy. So it's all encompassing book with life cycle approach, sustainability, and circular economy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So it was great discussion with you all. Thank you so much. We can stop now. Have a
Yes,
great weekend.
thank you. Thank you, team.
Thank you all.